Must Die is not only one of the best artists in NSD's catalog, but he's also one of the most interesting and limit-pushing artists in the whole bass music scene. His new album, Crisis Vision, is finally out, and I could not be more excited to review it. This album is incredible from beginning to end, and it has some of the most amazing and unique songs I've ever heard, like in dubstep and in electronic scene. I don't know what he did to create this album, but it is just so amazing in every single way. Crisis Vision is not only dubstep, but it also mixes genres of every type and to create some very unique songs with Must Die's unique style. And he also has a lot of collaborations in this album, which surprised me because he's an artist that I'm used to hearing solo songs from him. So hearing him with collaborating with artists like Akios and the Pom Poms and some others was so fun to listen to. And we're gonna go today and discuss every single one of these songs and say what I thought about it, which is a lot of good things because I absolutely love this album. So first we're gonna go over each one of the singles he released over the last year, talk a little bit about them, and then discuss the album as a whole. So without further ado, let's start with the singles. So Must Die released 5 singles for this album, and I actually didn't know they were going to be part of an album after 2 months before he released it, when he announced that he was going to release a full-length album that would turn into Crisis Vision, and I really enjoyed them. I thought he chose them very well. I think each one of these songs are probably some of the best, and from last year he released Nerve Damage in March, and this was the first one, and Nerve Damage was super incredible. He continued that pattern of releasing singles through Never Say Die Records, which include others like Bliss 2K and Chaos. Some of those are some of his best material to date, and he changed the color from red to yellow, so I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be cool, but I didn't realize it was going to be part of an album. So anyways, Nerve Damage, this song is just so cool. This is when I heard this for the first time, I thought this is so incredible. It's actually so different from all the stuff you hear in bass music and dubstep. It has really fast, hard-hitting bass lines, and it's just so fun to listen to. It became one of the most iconic songs of 2020. A lot of artists played it, and I really enjoyed it. And after that, we had the second single called Don't Even Bother, which released in May of the same year. And Don't Even Bother is just so fun to listen to. It's so incredible. It's kind of like a house type song. It's kind of it's a little bit more poppy. It's not heavy on the dubstep and on the aggressive drops. It's just more like a really nice song, and it's actually pretty interesting. It's pretty a good song to introduce people to Must Die, show them Don't Even Bother, and it's just the lyrics go really well. This duo, the Pom Poms, remind me a lot of Icona Pop, those early Cruella, that kind of stuff, and it just works so well, and I liked it a lot. So after Don't Even Bother, we got Hellburst, which is so incredible. I really love Hellburst. It's just so different from everything, and I think every single song on the album is just so genre breaking in so many ways. It's you never listen to this stuff, not even in raw style, hard style songs, with a lot of really powerful kicks, but this one is just so different from that. It actually, most of the drop is carried by the the bass line and some of the synths more than the drums, so it's really interesting. And also the intro is fantastic. This song has one of the best intros I've heard in a long time. It's just so fun, the build up to the really heavy interesting, amazing drop towards the middle and towards the end. So yeah, I loved Hellburst, and it's just so fun to listen to. So after Hellburst, Must Die released Sorrow Tech, which was super unique. It's just really, it lives up to its name. It's really kind of science fiction-y. I don't know how to describe it, but it's the synths that he uses in Sorrow Tech are just so kind of screechy and just combined to make a song that feels like it was made by a robot, but it's just so good too. I liked it, and I gotta be honest, it took me a while to get into Sorrow Tech, but then I took it as part of the album, part of this greater work, and it works really well. I liked Sorrow Tech, but yeah, it's fun to listen to. And after Sorrow Tech, we have Lol OK, which is super. I love this song so much. So Lolo K is probably Must Die's biggest collaboration to date. It's a triple collab between him, Akeos, and Skream. So I like to explain how important this song is. Like, Skream is actually one of the pioneers of dubstep, and like way before Skrillex, he started making dubstep. Well, kind of like what became dubstep. It's really different from what we listen today in the genre. Like, it basically today transformed into something very different with artists like Excision and like Never Say Die, Disciple. They shaped it into something, but before that, Skream was kind of like the pioneer. So it's so interesting to see him come back to this like style of music, and through Must Die and Never Say Die records. This is like so mind-blowing that this song even exists with Skream. And also Akeos is a very new artist. Like, they've been growing a lot over the past year, and also like hearing their sound design in this song is just so incredible, because Lolo K is so heavy, like on the kind of like the really experimental sounds of bass music, and it's just so fun. Like, both of the drops are super different from each other. The first one is like more on the future rhythm kind of side of the song, and then the other one is like super heavy, and all three other artists like really mesh together. So yeah, I really enjoyed Lolo K, and it's a really great song. So anyways, those were the singles. Now let's go on to the full album, beginning to end, baby. Let's do this. So right off the bat, Crisis Vision greets us with one of the most incredible intros I've ever heard in an album, and that is no exaggeration. Like, this intro, Nihilism Begins at Home, is just so, oh my god, like it does its job pretty well. And it's basically a 2 minute and 42-second intro that begins like slow, and then there's this sudden like screeching, screaming sound that is just so bone chilling and lets you know what this album is all about. Like, I think the themes of this album are kind of like science fiction, and in a really strange way that is also super heavy and experimental, and it really made me kind of like think about like the heaviness of the album is represented here, but it also has like other themes, like kind of like more slower songs, and I think it does a great job. And then the second drop of, well, kind of like the main drop of Nihilism Begins at Home is super, it really gets me pumped up. So it's kind of like, it's basically, I have it on my gym playlist, so it's a really good song for working out, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. So Nihilism Begins at Home, it's a pretty great way to start the album, and yeah, it's incredible. So after Nihilism Begins at Home, we have Lolo K, which I already talked about with Skream and Akeos, such a good song. So after Lolo K, we have F Your Style, which is really interesting. I like this song. It's pretty, I don't know, it has like a really cool like kind of like melody in the beginning, but I just like it because it shows more of Must Die style. It's a really good song, but overall it didn't really leave me thinking about much. So yeah, I think it's a good song, but it didn't like stick with me too much even after a couple listens. So after F Your Style, we have Life Suck, which is a collaboration with Emanu, which is he's a really interesting artist too. Like, he is kind of like similar to Must Die. Like, they both push like the bass music scene into really interesting directions. Like, he released a song through Heaven Sent, which is Slander's their new record label, and it was pretty interesting and pretty like forward thinking. So I liked it. It wasn't as great as I expected, but I still enjoyed the song, and I think it fits well within the album. So yeah, it's a good collab between Must Die and Emanu. So after that, we have Don't Even Bother, such a great fun song. I loved Don't Even Bother. After that, we got Sorrow Tech, great song too. Then Body Scream. This is Must Die's first drum and bass song, and it's really good drum and bass. It is just so fun. I loved Body Scream. And yeah, it's like super, like the drum and bass is like super fast. It's kind of like breaks, but it's still, it's really good. I liked it, and it's a really nice song to have in your sets and to listen to. After Body Scream, we got Hellburst, such a great song. Already talked about it. After that, we got Error, which is a collaboration with Onumi. I like this one. I didn't really enjoy the melody that much. I felt like it was too heavy. Well, not too heavy. Like, you can't ever be too heavy in music, but like there was like a lot of stuff going on at the same time. So it didn't really stick with me, but I still liked it. I think every song on the album is pretty good, and it helps well to build the rest of the album. So I liked Error, so I'm not complaining about it. So after Error, we have Choose One, which is a collaboration between Must Die and Link. And Link is a pretty new artist. They released EP through Welcome Records, which was super interesting. I think their style is kind of like a mix between house, which with super interesting synths, like and the melodies that Link uses are pretty fun. And this is shown in Choose One. I think the song has a lot of that style. It meshes well with Must Die style, and I really like this. I think Link is a very promising artist, and I can't wait to see more of them. So after Choose One, we have Nerve Damage, which is the song that set off this amazing journey of the album, and I enjoyed it. I think it's a really great song, and it's so fun. So yeah. So now we have my favorite song from all the new songs in the album, which is Delete It All. So Delete It All is a collaboration between Must Die and Ducky, and it's super fun. It's just it has all the chaos that Must Die delivers in the best way possible. It starts the chorus, like building to the drop, is just so fun. It's kind of like chaotic. It makes you feel like there's a lot of chaos about to happen, and then the drop hits. It's kind of like a hard style like mesh of many different genres, but it's mostly hardstyle, and I enjoyed it so much. It's just so kind of like creepy and chaotic, and it's just so fun, and I enjoyed it so much. And yeah, Delete It All, probably my favorite one of the new songs. And after that, we have Wherever You Go, which is kind of like an outro, but it's still like a full song that covers a lot of different things. So yeah, Wherever You Go, it's kind of like softer. It's basically a way to letting you know that the album is over. It's really melodic, actually. It's kind of like really inspiring. It's really emotional, and I really enjoyed Wherever You Go. And yeah, I think this song does a great job of wrapping up the whole album and shows it as a very amazing work of art. And actually there's a bonus song in the album. So the bonus song was revealed in the live stream that they made on Twitch, and the day before Crisis Vision was released, there was a live stream with all the songs on the album, and he revealed a song called Frog, which was pretty interesting. I liked Frog. It's I only got to listen to it once, but it was a really nice surprise, and I want to thank Must Die for releasing that song. But yeah, I liked it, and hopefully we'll see it in a future deluxe version of Crisis Vision with some new songs. So yeah, overall, Crisis Vision is an amazing work of art. I really enjoyed it, and I also want to take this time in the conclusion to talk about some of the pre-Crisis Vision songs that Must Die released. He released some very, very amazing songs that I wish would have been part of the album, but they weren't. I think those pre-Crisis Vision songs are some of the best material he's put out to date, especially Bliss 2K, Misery System, Funeral Zone. Those songs are just, they're so much more incredible than anything I've ever heard from his music, and it's kind of a shame they weren't included in the album, but I guess it's okay. Like, it's fine. But I still would have loved to see them, maybe in a deluxe version, but I don't know. I just wanted to mention them because those pre-Crisis Vision songs are some of my favorite of Must Die songs ever released. So yeah, I really had to talk about them. And yeah, I mean, it's okay that they weren't in the album, but it's still, they gotta give them some recognition. So yeah, overall, I think the album was amazing. It covered a lot of different things. It was a great way to reintroduce me to his music, and I just loved it so much. So overall, I'm gonna give Crisis Vision an 88 out of 100. It was just incredible, and I wish to see more of Must Die in the future, and hopefully I'll get to see more collaborations from him. I think he shines very well mixing his style with different artists, especially with Zomboy. I would like to see more songs like that, maybe some really well-known dubstep artists like Excision or Phase 1. That would be pretty awesome. But yeah, overall, I love this album. Super great. I want to listen to it again a million times. And that's it for today, so I'll see you around.